It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
With the Diesel and the Jet, this is Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it's the Memphis Grizzlies as they'll be playing against the Chicago Bulls at United Center. Looking at the Bulls, they're sitting at 500 over the last 10 games, kind of treading water. They'd really like to make a splash over the next few games. We'll be watching Pau Gasol in this one. He's done it all and done it well for
broadcasting from Chicago as the Bulls get ready to take the hardwood here at the United Center. We're happy to have you with us for 2K Sports midweek presentation of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And, of course, Aaron Brooks. Need to find a way to overcome what he brought to this team.
Kevin, I've got to admit, I was caught off guard by this trade. I mean, he played such a big part for him. He was the last guy I expected them to move.
Yeah, but if you're going to make a move, this is when you want to do it, when a guy has basically lifted his ceiling. And so now it creates some other opportunities for some of your younger players. We'll just have to see how that transition plays out and how those new pieces fit.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So on the floor for Memphis, Green is the 3 with Zebo at the 4, Conley and Allen in the backcourt, and it's Wright in at the 5. And guys, Jeff Green, by every measure of athleticism and skill, should have become one of the game's better small forwards, but inconsistency has plagued him throughout his career.
And Kevin, I always go back to something my college coach told me. The mental to the physical is 4-1 in this game. And so through those 7 full seasons, he's teased everyone with that talent. And then it does suddenly disappear. And there's no other way to describe it other than the fact that it is mental. He hasn't been able to sustain it in terms of the consistency, and that's why he hasn't fulfilled his potential.
You know, with Jeff Green, the one thing you can say about him is he's been durable, especially since he'd had the unforeseen heart issue in 2011 for which he needed season-ending surgery. Since then, over the past 3 full seasons, he's played in 81, 82, and 78 games.
And talking about Jeff Green, I'm rooting for him. I mean, I'm rooting for him to finally put it all together, to gain and maintain the confidence, and really to fulfill the vast potential we all know that he has.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
No good on that one. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long, Clark, as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
And the second free throw, good.
And with Pau, that 46-point game, he became the oldest player to get 45 points and 15 rebounds.
Now here's Randolph. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
He got a little room at the rim and laid it in. Great play.
Memphis on defense. It's a 3-point game.
And a final point, guys, with Pau's career game. It's crazy to think that he did it while not being the first offensive option. I mean, he had been the go-to guy with his time in Memphis for so long.
And here's the fast break. Rose leading the way. That's good.
He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll.
Green, no luck.
Offensively, 1 of 4 to start. They're still trying to find their stroke.
And Butler gets it to go on the assist by Wright.
A heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
The feed to Green. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And that's what the pump fake's there for. Get your man off his feet and drive right around him. Outside Rose.
Out left to the wing. Tries from 16. No good from Gasol.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Wright sets a screen. Here's Conley, and he sinks the shot coming off the strong pick. Conley's got his first bucket of the night.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have. Solid work on the back end of that play.
Yeah, finish hard with two hands on the stuff.
Yeah, nothing extravagant, guys, but again, no need on that one.
Now here's Randolph. He's coming off a 25-point game against Washington.
Yeah, but he set up shop at the free throw line. I mean, he just could not be defended out on the floor.
And that one's good. Right.
I don't know. Maybe they're still working out the kinks on D because that clearly was a breakdown.
Allen kicks to Randolph. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. They get Paul Gasol. And to nobody's surprise, Zach Randolph enjoyed an outstanding season, Clark, in 14-15.
And, you know, ironically, by taking more of a backseat to front court make Marc Gasol, Randolph played better, the best rebound rate of his career.
Shooting two.
He misses the free throw.
And for the Grizzlies, they had to be encouraged by Randolph's play after signing him to that extension. I mean, he'd been set back by the knee injury, but he came back in a big way.
Good on the second free throw.
And Randolph happy to be back in Memphis. He said, this is home. This is where I belong. And look, he's helped establish this team as a power in the Western Conference. And for me, this is the right place for him to be.
An even 3-on-3 break. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Conley, the pass to Wright, and stolen by Drummond. And Wright, here we go. Excellent D there from Allen.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempt.
For Chicago, they won their last contest, that game against the 76ers.
And how about the game plan that was constructed for that one? I mean, it was apparent how powerless the D was to stop it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I mean, they just didn't have an answer for anything they threw at them.
Now here is Conley after the miss from Paul Gasol. Randolph a screen. Wright dishes to Allen. Here's Green. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Green's got his second bucket of the night. Chicago trailing here. Outside Rose. Double team on Rose. Butler. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
Now here's Allen, looking for his first basket still in this one. Conley with a wide open look, sinks it from just inside the baseline.
And back and forth we go. That bucket gives us another lead change.
Too many of those to count. These teams have matched each other shot for shot, play for play. It has been impressive.
Gasol a screen. Rose double teamed. He's looking for Drummond and finds him.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher.
Did he just go chop chop there with that one hand tomahawk slam?
To the paint. Here's Randolph. Falls through. He's now made 2 of 4.
And you're not going to pass up that kind of look.
Bulls have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Rose kicks to Gasol. Butler against Allen. And Butler gets it to go.
Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
That's a great point. 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed have come at the rim.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And really, had they just shot their average from the free throw line in that game, I think that probably changes the outcome.
No doubt. I mean, because there is a carryover effect when you're not having success at the line.
Look at a very well-rounded group of players. Shooting guards who can rebound with the big boys. Tony Allen is second.
And these are sort of your do-it-all guys. I mean, even if rebounding isn't necessarily a priority for shooting guards, it's still something that helps your team get wins.
Absolutely. When your two guard can squeeze the orange like that, as each of these players on that list can, it can be a major X factor for you.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Taj Gibson's checked in for Andre Drummond, and Smith subbed in for Jarrell Wright. Now, here's Green. He's coming off a 13-point game against Washington. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. It's Butler that time on the assist by Rose. Rose has got 5 assists tonight.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
That's good.
Udrih with the excellent feed that time.
The Bulls have gone 8 of 14 from the field in the first quarter. Smith outside. Gibson setting a pick for Smith. He feeds it to Gibson. No good. Great D that time from Green.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds, and they look strong here in the early going.
Here's Udrih. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Green, the screen, and so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. The Grizzlies shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game.
And Beno Udrih, a 6'3" lefty combo guard out of Yugoslavia. He can run the pick and roll and has really improved from mid-range. Can square up and bury it at a moment's notice.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Splitters checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Jimmy Butler. And it's Jordan Clarkson in for Derrick Rose. Here's Smith. Here's Gibson. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points. Gibson's got his first basket of the night. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game, how it's been going for the Bulls.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
And also, how about the fact defensively they're getting that backboard and getting out in transition, especially in this first half.
Randolph. Rebound by the Bulls.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Here's Gibson. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3. And Udrih lacks the quickness, Clark, to stay with most point guards defensively.
Yeah, just by a step or two, and that's why he's better defending 2 guards. He does a much better job when he's matched up with 2s versus point guards.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Here's Carter. Great D that time from Gibson.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Here's Smith, and the layup's good off the glass. And the Bulls lead by 5.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
Green passes to Lee. The Grizzlies with another miss. The Bulls shooting it officially from the get-go. They're at 52% for the field. Now, here's Clarkson. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
Good little two-man action there, but they just can't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, but that was a beauty. Good-looking shot, well-executed play. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to it.
Green, the screen. Lee up top. He kicks it to Green. Shot clock at 5. Here's Randolph. Off the mark, and the drought continues.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
And Mirotic kicks to Clarkson. Pass to Gibson. The pass to Smith. In the corner, it's Clarkson. Gibson the screen. Off the screen. And that one's good. Clarkson's got his first 2 points.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jumper?
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Timeout called, the Grizzlies. Last season, the Bulls were a tough matchup, solid margin of victory for them, and never looked overwhelmed.
Yeah, you know what? They're a team that's even-keeled, the type of team that can win anytime they take the floor. They have a system that works and good talent, and actually excellent talent to make it special, and that combination is a winning one.
Matt Barnes is checked in for Memphis. And a wide-open look for Lee, and it comes off the front of the rim.
It's still early, but they've started to establish themselves on the glass here.
Yeah, scrappy, Clark, for each and every rebound. They are not backing down.
Now, here is Smith. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. Splitter misses.
And you talk about the Bulls being able to beat anybody in the league. They did. They did that last season. One of only 3 teams to register 1 win against every other team in the league back in 2015.
And, you know, getting back to that point about the Bulls beating every team in the league, only the Spurs and Warriors were the other teams to do that. Goes to show just how tough last year's Bulls squad was. Well, I tell you, the Grizzlies guys were really dominant in the first half of the season last year, but after the All-Star break, barely played above 500.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. And Memphis would end up going 16-13 over the back half of last season. Down the stretch, they would only go 5 up and 5 down in the final 10.
Yeah, and Kevin, all those games are so important as they jockeyed for position in the West. It was so fluid and volatile down the stretch. They could have been anywhere from a 2nd seed to a 6th on any given day, and they just happened to slump at the wrong time. The numbers for Zach Randolph. This last month, he's been positively spectacular. He's averaging 20 points, 13 rebounds, and 3 assists. And he gives them a nice rotation on the front court. He is a quality reserve.
Well, you know, he's not as developed skill-wise as some guys, but you can't teach size. So he's a valuable backup for this team in that regard.
1:19 left here in the first quarter. Clarkson kicks to Gibson. Tries it from 19. And that one comes up a bit short.
Well, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Kept alive, and he gets it to go.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
Now here's Gibson. He averages about 5 points a game. Smith with a wide open look. And again, Chicago. No good. And Udrich kicks to Green. Barnes with it. Now guarded by Mirotic. Baseline try. Good on the jump shot. And it's now only a 1-point Bulls lead. So it's Chicago now. 6-second difference between shot and game clock. Smith outside. Shoots from the high post. That one drops, and he's now 2 for 5.
My goodness, since when does he score off the crossover? Now I've truly seen it all.
Here's Udrich. His last outing, he had 8 points. Shoots the 3. Got it off in time, but it's no good. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Bulls lead by 3. Let's take a quick break now, and then it's on to the second quarter after this. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And taking a look at Chicago's performance here, guys, what have they been doing or not doing?
I just think that from an intensity standpoint, their defense has really been the key. It's been the catalyst as they've been able to disrupt their opponent's offense.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been much more intense defensively. And their defense not only has been intense, but it's been swarming and saran wrap-like.
So it's the Grizzlies now. They trail by 3. Their next game is at the American Airlines Center in Dallas for a game with the Mavericks. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Pau Gasol is out there with Andre Drummond. And it's Smith in at the 3, the small forward. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter. Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
And here is Butler, following Jeff Green's 3. Shots good from Butler. Butler's got 10 points.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Rose goes in. President Smith with the assist that time. And now a 4-point Chicago lead.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injury. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Now here's Barnes. Top of the key, Conley. Down to 5 on the shot clock. There's the 3. Barnes can't get it to go. The Bulls leading by 4. Outside Rose. Barnes against Butler. From 12 feet out. You know what? Now the Grizzlies take it the other way.
And, you know, back to D. Rose, he grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's south side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Drummond, the screen. Gasol, a screen on Conley. Drummond sets the screen for Smith. The shot will not go.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while. All the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling. Andre Drummond is a big guy. At the NBA Draft Combine, he measured 7 feet tall with a 7'7" wingspan, and he tipped the scales at 280 pounds. That's a super heavyweight, my friends.
And on the topic of Andre Drummond, Greg, there are a few guys in the league who combine his kind of size with the type of athleticism he possesses. Fast up and down the floor, quick off his feet, even sports a little hang time. I mean, the guy's got a full package athletically.
You talked about the raw physical tools. Then you factor in the two things as a big that I really value: great hands and quick feet. And he's got that going for him. So you can't go through him, you can't go around him, and you certainly can't go over him. I mean, what's left?
We can only hope to contain him, as they say. Gasol dishes to Drummond. Right, the pass to Gasol. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Rose. Misses off the left iron. The Grizzlies trail by 3. Outside Conley. Right with a screen on Rose. Here's Conley, and it's sent back by Drummond. Barnes. But they'll get another chance. Grizzlies have gone just 2 of 8 shooting here in the second quarter. And another miss by Memphis. Chicago leading by 3. And Wright kicks to Butler. Right side Gasol. Here's Wright. The Grizzlies pull it in. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just 2 powerhouse teams facing off.
Really easy to tell that this is an important game, Greg. I mean, I don't know if the crowd will get a chance to take a breath in this one.
Again, Conley missing.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you can see the frustration on his face.
Drummond with a screen on Conley. And finished off by Rose.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
And the Grizzlies with possession here after the Bulls pick up 2. Wright with a screen on Wright. Carter. That one off the back iron and out.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Rose against Conley. Derrick Rose again. And now a 9-point Bulls lead.
Really not hard to see why they're giving up points on this run. I mean, they've just given them too many looks inside.
Yeah, and usually when a team goes on a run like this, it's because they are getting too many opportunities on the inside. Make them beat you from deep.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Passes it to Butler. Down low. And it's Drummond missing. The Grizzlies trail by 9. Allen dishes to Conley. Pass to Barnes. Looking to end the run. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Barnes has got 5 now.
Michael Conley with excellent vision on that pass.
Good looking screen by Gasol. To the middle. Jumper off the screen. Nice jump shot. Good. And the Bulls lead by 8.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
And that one's good. Right.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
Chicago calls timeout. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up. Check out the stats for Andre Drummond. A wonderful string of games he's put together here lately. 3rd in field goal percentage, and he's an elite glass eater, a factor inside among the top 10 in rebounds per game.
And, you know, that's an impressive accomplishment. He just refuses to take bad shots. That's why he's one of the best in field goal percentage.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago. And Memphis also making a switch. Zach Randolph's checked in for Barnes.
And injuries, once again, were a central theme of the Bulls' season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot. No doubt the fight's there. They are trying to battle back, but he's just really struggling this quarter.
Rose with the ball, and it's Carter picking him up. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. 8 points for Derrick Rose.
He's making it look easy scoring out there because he's much more efficient here in the second.
And for the Bulls and injuries, a lot of teams plan for these type of things. There's only so much Clark you can do to mitigate losing your starting backcourt.
But I tell you, great respect and admiration for the Bulls for how they fought through the difficulty. I mean, their front court did what they could. The injuries, once again, I thought turned the Bulls from championship contenders to just a playoff team.
Here's Butler. Michael Conley making his last shot. Drummond in the post, working on Randolph. The Bulls need to get a shot off here. And it's Wright missing.
It would have been something to see if he could hit that shot from that deep.
Greg, you know it. I know it. There aren't very many guys that can hit from out there. But he is one of them. That's the kind of range he has.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Tony Allen. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Chicago. Splitters checked in for Drummond. Mirotic comes in for Wright, and it's Jordan Clarkson in for Derrick Rose. Then for the Grizzlies, Lee's checked in for Allen, and it's Udrih in for Mike Conley. The Bulls leading by 6. Clarkson with the ball. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Dishes it to Butler. Lets it go from 14. The Grizzlies pull it in. Randolph's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Now Udrih. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. An open look for Lee. That's good. It's Udrih with the assist that time. Lee's got his first bucket in this one.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agility.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Wright sets a screen. The drive by Lee. Here's Randolph. Yes, it is. Scored that as a bucket. Number 5 on a 5 for 11 night.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Clarkson kicks to Gibson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And for most of his career, Taj Gibson has been a tremendous role player up front. GA, he's been extremely steady over 6 full seasons.
And Kevin, he gives you a lot of energy and athleticism when he enters the game. He's got the great length with that 7'4" wingspan. But to me, it's not just about having it. It's about the fact that he utilizes it. And it really allows him to get in there and attack the backboard and contest shots.
No good on the free throw.
Yeah, you know, talking about Gibson, he started 70 games his first year and made the all-rookie team. But thereafter, had been mostly a six-man off the bench through last season. It happens, but it's still somewhat unusual for a guy to go backwards like that.
The Bulls making a switch here. Smith has checked in, and Memphis also making a switch. Green's checked in. He hits the second from the line.
And talking about Gibson, if he ever wants to be seen as a high-level starter, he needs to work on a few things. More bankable moves in the post, a more fluid post game, if you will, and really increased strength and consistency. I think those things will carry him to that starting five.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's key to this run. Passing it with purpose, the D hasn't been able to keep up.
Now here's Gibson. 5 points in the game. Smith the pass to Clarkson. Great tee that time from Green.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. You know, I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game.
Now here's Clarkson. Guarded closely. Splitter sets a screen. Smith kicks to Splitter. Back to Smith. Gibson the screen. Smith drives in, loses his man off the screen, and lays it up and in. Smith's got 6. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
Well, neck and neck, how about that? I mean, ferociously competitive. I mean, tight as me in an airplane bathroom.
That's not the visual I was looking for right now, but there have been a lot of lead changes. My goodness.
And it's Green, missing.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
Splitter sets a screen. Clarkson dishes to Gibson. No good. And Memphis the other way now. Udrich the pass to Carter. Green kicks to Lee. Off target from outside. Chicago leading. Smith outside. Gibson the screen. Smith drives in, and that one's good. Smith's got 4 points in the quarter.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now here's Green. 11 points in the game. The shot by Carter. Nobody around. And another miss by Memphis. Shoots from the baseline. Here's Clarkson. And 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Udrich. Courtney Lee is on the wing. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. And it's good. Caught through contact. It's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
How about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down.
Free throw drops for Zach Randolph. And here's Clarkson. With 1 on the clock. And no good trying to get that one. It's all tied in Chicago. Stay with us, folks. We'll get back just after halftime to start the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And an exhilarating first half, to be sure. Welcome back. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be breaking down all the action for you. What a start for Jimmy Butler. He had 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Well, the reserves really came through when they needed a spark. This is a close game. Any points you can get from your bench are huge. I thought the bench guys came in and asserted themselves like they wanted a starting spot. And that's what you want. Subs who are ready to produce the moment they step on the floor.
And Shaq, let's get your input on the Grizzlies.
They played some solid team basketball, Ernie. Pretty good. They were sharing the ball. We saw some nice feeds, a lot of movement. It wasn't 5 individuals out there. It was one cohesive unit, and they got the assist to show for it. Their rhythm was nice.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report as it's just about time for the start of the third quarter.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. It's been one outstanding game from Zach Randolph.
Unbelievable the way he dominated that offensive glass in those first 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Guys, you've heard me say it before, but persistence pays. And it takes that kind of persistence to be a successful offensive rebounder. As a fellow glass eater, I know of which I speak. Those guys that rebound effectively don't give up on it.
And so here's Memphis. Clark, looking around the league, there's no team that teams want to play less than the Memphis Grizzlies. They just wear you down.
Well, they play a physical brand of basketball. They play hard. Everybody's on the same page. And even if you beat the Grizzlies, they take a lot out of you in terms of how they try to wear you down.
Getting underway here in the second half. Here's the 5 for Dave Yeager. Conley and Allen in the backcourt. Green is the 3 with Zebo at the 4. And it's Wright in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Allen, following the score by Derrick Rose. Allen dishes to Green. Green with a screen for Wright. Memphis moving that ball around. 6 on the shot clock. 17-foot shot on the way. Miss number 7 from the field. He's also made 7. And Chicago shooting well. They're at 45%. Rose kicks to Butler. Good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now. 6 for 8 on the night.
And the Grizzlies played so well against all the other playoff teams. And part of it is that they just have a style that matches up well with anyone.
Now here's Conley. He's got 8. Wright with a screen on Rose. Here's Conley, and he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. Conley's got 10 points.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jumper?
Rose kicks to Gasol. He dishes it to Butler. Wright sets a screen. Back to Gasol. Green with the block. Now here's Allen. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Randolph a screen. Green kicks to Allen. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. The dish to Wright and stolen by Drummond.
Ill-advised pass on that one, guys. I mean, he had to know there was a man there in position to get that turnover.
Memphis trailing here. Green with the ball. And Rose picks him up defensively. A drive by Allen. Good.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Now here's Rose. 10 points for him. That's good. Rose has got 12.
They're earning their points with the jump shot now.
And that's right, Clark. 6 of their last 10 have come from the mid-range.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. Last season, Memphis fell late and would end up with the 5th seed in the NBA playoffs. Only one of 2 teams to make the playoffs each of the last 5 seasons, along with the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and they were a team that nobody wanted to play. Memphis drew Portland in that first round, and even though they were the 5th seed, they had home court advantage.
The centers and power forwards of the NBA. These are the players with the softest touch around the bucket. Some terrific shooting percentages for the big men. Number 1, Andre Drummond. Pau Gasol, 3rd.
And most of the guys on that list have that unique combination of power and finesse. I mean, a very physical presence with an equally soft touch.
Yeah, and you've got to have a mix of options if you're going to shoot a high percentage like these guys do. You've got to be able to establish good position, and then you've got to have a nice feel around the bucket with both hands.
Now here's Allen. Right side, Randolph. And Gasol sends it back. Here's Rose, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
What a game for Rose. 12 points, and what a game he's had passing the ball, too.
I love the fact that he plays for his teammates, really spreading the ball around, getting everyone involved.
You know, guys, Memphis walked through the first round against Portland. The second round, a lot tougher against Golden State. They went up 2-1 in that series, but couldn't hold on to that lead.
And he knocks down the first one.
And guys, Memphis would lose 2 of their 3 games at home against Golden State. So things got tough with the Conley injury and missing Tony Allen as well. But they did put up a good fight, ultimately, though, falling in 6 games to the Warriors.
He makes 1 of 2 that time.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
Now here's Conley. 10 points for him. Wright the pass to Randolph. And Wright pulls it down. Right side, Butler to the inside. Rose can't hit. And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
Here's Rose after Jeff Green's bucket. Puts up the baby hook, and Drummond throws it down.
And guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Clark grinding away, 100% effort all the time.
And Kevin, all that effort pays off. How many of those spectacular putback jams do we see from this guy? A bunch.
Conley, wide open shot is on the money. Conley's got 12. Bulls have gone an even 50% from the floor here in the third quarter. 4 of 8. And it's Rose penetrating. And he gets the bucket. And the Bulls lead by 3.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight.
Wright sets a screen. Conley dishes to Green. And it's Conley that time on the assist by Green. 14 points for Conley. Bulls have gone 5 of 9 on field goal attempts since halftime. Rose Rose kicks to Gasol. Back to Rose. Gasol setting the pick for Rose. The shot by Butler, nobody around. Off target with his three. It's a close game here in Chicago. Conley, the pass to Wright, kicks it to Allen. Conley up top, 6 to shoot. Wright sets a screen, and it's Conley penetrating, and it's sent back by Drummond. Butler on the way. Back to Rose. And it's Randolph with the rebound. Randolph's got 9 rebounds in the game, getting it done. Out to Conley. Right side, Randolph. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Rose goes in. Tries it from 9. And he connects with the jumper. Rose has got 9 points now in just the second half.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Now here's Conley. He's got 14. It's Allen on the wing, defended by Butler. Chicago grabs the miss. Drummond's got double-digit rebounds now in the game.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
And he comes off the screen and slams it through.
And turning down what would have been a tough shot for himself into an easy one for his teammate.
There's a good screen. And it's Conley penetrating. Feeds it to Wright. To the right side. Here's Conley. Some solid defense from Rose. Chicago leading by 5. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Rose has got 19 points.
He is just tearing it up this quarter. That lead's not going anywhere while he's this hot.
Conley dishes to Wright.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
The mid-range that you've seen from them about as good as it gets, and there has not been a drop-off in the second half.
They've also been pounding it inside tonight and coming away with a lot of points in the paint. I call those PIPs.
So Chicago ends up going with a new group. So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Matt Barnes is checked in for Randolph. Carter comes in for Green. Lee's checked in for Tony Allen. And it's Udrich in for Mike Conley. And so Wright nails both of them. For Chicago, they've gone 8 of 14 on their shot attempts here in the third. Some pretty nice work. Clarkson kicks to Mirotic. There's the screen. Screen by Smith. Jacks up a 3. A shot by Clarkson, no good. Bulls had a good year against the West last season. 17 up, 13 down against the Western Conference.
Yeah, and how about playing 500 or better against every division in the Western Conference? So impressive to think they did so well given how many games some of their starting players missed.
Now here's Lee. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Out to the wing. And Udrich kicks to Lee. Just 5 to shoot. There's the 3. Can't get it to go. And it's Chicago the other way. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Here's Clarkson. Traps in the tray. Clarkson's got 5 now.
That's the kind of D that you're not going to find success with, guys. They've got to get a hand in the face.
Udrich, the pass to Carter. Barnes. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And watching Matt Barnes, he will do all the dirty work for you. He's an instigator, he's an agitator, and he's a team player, I think, at the core. And everywhere he's gone, you know, and he's played for a lot of teams, Greg, he's had that role.
It's a great point. I call him a glue guy. You know, he's not someone who's going to be a volume scorer or a smooth playmaker, but the game really is built on grit, diving for loose balls, taking charges, making hard fouls, you know, whatever it takes to help his team win. I like that line, antagonist. That's a very good way to describe him.
And it's Carter missing. The Bulls leading by 9. Clarkson with the ball. He has 5. Splitter dishes to Gibson. Let's get some information from the 2K leaderboard. In about the last 10 games in the NBA, during that span, these teams have the most second chance points in the league. Number 5, the Bulls.
Really something to see. Their effort on the offensive glass has just led to so many second chance opportunities.
That free throw, no good. Good on the second free throw.
And good numbers for Gibson. He has 8 points, and his 2 blocks have given them a lift defensively.
No doubt about it. He's been a rim protector, and it's starting to get into the heads of their opponent.
Now a timeout called by Memphis.
Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I guarantee you this talk centers around cutting down on all of those points coming in the paint. They've got to show more resistance there.
And so it's Memphis with it, trailing by 10. Wright with a screen on Gibson. Back to Lee. The 17-footer. And he hits the jump shot. Now Clarkson. He has 5. Now the feed to Splitter. Lee against Smith. He kicks to Gibson. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And out of bounds as the Grizzlies gain possession.
Well, I think that pass caught him off guard, but he showed us board hands, too.
1:58 left in the third quarter. Pass to Lee. Not enough on that one as it misses.
High-quality shot. Just a little off there with the release.
And, Greg, that has him S-H-H-ing, shaking his head. Tough miss that time.
We're seeing the shots start to fall for them now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this has been an extremely efficient second half for them up to this point.
Here's Udrich. Here's Wright. Out to Carter. Wright sets a screen. Carter, the pass to Wright. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
Well, he's an undersized center, but he more than makes up for it with some serious leaping ability.
Now, here's Clarkson. He's guarded by Udrich. Good. Clarkson's got the lead up to 11 now for the Bulls.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
Wright sets a screen to the paint, up off the screen. And Carter lays it up and in.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
J.R. Smith on the wing. He feeds it to Splitter. Back to Smith. And Gibson now top the key. Here's Clarkson. No good. And the Grizzlies going the other way now.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
The Bulls leading by 9. Here's Smith. It's rebounded by Memphis. Carter's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Udrich. Knocks down the 10-footer. for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. And Chicago shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good. Rose is the one with Butler as the two. Pau Gasol is out there with Smith. And it's Drummond in at the 5 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Now here's Gasol. And he overshot that one, missing. Here's Conley. Now the pass to Green. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. One bit of news for the Grizzlies last year is that they acquired a single affiliation deal with a D-League team, which you think is going to help them.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that team is the Iowa Energy. They're a sole partner now with the Iowa Energy. Gentlemen, good move by the team in what is becoming a growing trend in the NBA.
First free throw is good.
And for Memphis and the D-League, they made the most of it. Sent 3 players for a total of 14 assignments with the Energy. And that's how you make the most of an affiliate.
And he makes both free throws.
You know, considering the Grizzlies and their D-League partnership, it really makes sense for the franchise. Memphis has always been a place where they grow their own talent. A lot of good players have come out of Memphis. Not a lot of big names signed in free agency by the Grizzlies.
Now here is Smith. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Butler from outside. The rebound by Jeff Green. Green's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Over in the corner, Conley. That's good. That's Udrih with the assist that time. Udrih has got 4 assists in the game. Chicago leading. And here's Rose. And that one is stuffed right through.
And Kevin, who says a point guard should look to pass first? I mean, not when you can finish like this fella.
Well, Clark, he wasn't going to give that opportunity up to a teammate.
Well, you know, Kevin, that's one he'll always take himself, and he should. I mean, you can't pass up that kind of opportunity or fun.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Conley against Rose. Conley kicks to Udrih. Right side, Randolph. Green, the screen. Passes it to Udrih. Inside. Takes it from 10. And Gasol sends it back. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Rose with the ball. And that one's good. And now it's an 8-point Bulls lead.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they have.
Here's Udrih. Randolph a screen. Udrih dishes to Randolph. And again, Memphis no good.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions.
Butler kicks to Gasol. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. 9 points for Pau Gasol.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
Well, when you knock down jumpers like that, it opens everything else up as well.
Now here's Conley. To the inside, and stolen by Drummond. Allen against Rose, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot, he'll shoot 2. Jeff Green picks one up. And guys, Andre Drummond has made quite an impression in the early stages of his career. Clark, you were just talking about that. Greg, I don't think anyone felt he would have such an impact this fast.
Yeah, I mean, he's already a mountain of a man among boys. I mean, it's hard to believe when you look at this guy out there. He's only 22 years old.
Going back to Andre Drummond, some say there aren't any true centers entering the NBA these days. But I look at Andre, I look at DeMarcus Cousins, Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and I think to myself, what are these people talking about?
And talking about Andre Drummond, I remember when he fell to number 9 on draft day. All sorts of experts were making excuses as to why. But even then, there was this eerie feeling that some teams had made a huge mistake in passing on him. And that feeling turned out to be correct.
Gasol's shot is good.
They're on fire from mid-range, guys. They found a weakness in the defense, and they're exploiting it to a T.
And it's not often you see a team as efficient from that short 17, as I like to call it, but it's really worked well for them today.
Here is Conley after Pau Gasol's bucket. Green inside, guarded by Wright. It's Drummond with the rebound. Here's Chicago. Bringing it together. They've got an 11-2 run going. Rose kicks to Wright. They set the pick. Gasol setting the pick for Wright. Outside Butler. 6 on the shot clock. Drummond sets the screen for Butler. With the clock winding down, and Drummond throws it down. And that's a double-double for him now. 11 points and 14 rebounds.
Assisted, Michael Conley. At the line for the Bulls, one shot. Timeout for the Bulls.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Derrick Rose. He simply had a dominant third quarter, and it quickly became apparent he wanted to exert his control over the tempo of the game.
Just a sensational performance on a lot of levels, Ernie. Too many levels to talk about. Man, in some game, he's in the background. He doesn't get the chance to be the star of the show, but not tonight. He's the star tonight. Put him on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
He flat out dominated. I mean, you see the kind of plays he was making all over the court. This is the game, no matter who they put on him, he wasn't going to be denied. His offensive power was in full effect.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the rest of the 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. Good night, everybody.